Hello guys and welcome to today's mental health talk show. My name is Wachera Gikonyo. Now the question is, today we are going to ask today, is it religion, cult or culture? Now with everything that is happening in our country, the Shakahola incident, the brainwashing in Africa that is happening when it comes to religion, we are going to ask ourselves, what are we going to do about all this so that our people do not perish for lack of knowledge? Na kama kawaida, we are with Dubs Africa. Karibuni sana. Introduce yourself and tell the audience what you do.
Victor Moy. What I do? I'm basically a member of Dubs Africa. Yeah. That's what I do.
Okay. Any side hustle like?
Aye.
Okay, fine.
Hello, is it afternoon or evening? Good evening everyone. I'm Frank Boma, a member of Dubs and also a student, clinical counseling psychology.
No, thank you so much. Now, those who are watching us live, please make sure that you have commented below. Ask any question. Remember that we are going to have our session. We will be asking questions. We will be having story time. So feel free to participate. If you have not made your way to Showtime Cinema Nyeri, tafadhali, make sure that you've come so that we engage as much as possible. Now, as I said before, today we are going to discuss about religion, cult, and culture. Can you differentiate between the three? Tell us what religion is, what cult is, and what culture is. How can you differentiate?
Okay, personally,
yes,
I think there is no big difference. They're just both ways of on how you believe.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a set of beliefs like guidelines which guide maybe you trust someone, you believe in a certain way. So I think that's it. How you believe, how you trust. Maybe there is a supreme being, there is a certain power which controls everything. So
in all there's a supernatural. Is there a supernatural being involved?
Yeah, it's involved. There must be a target there.
All right.
We all believe in a certain point.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to base my questions with the Shakahola incident. We know that in Kenya we are having this, I don't know, we should call it a religion or a cult, but most of the worst part about it is that it's been associated with Christianity. But is it really Christianity or is it a cult? Because we are seeing death, we are seeing a small group of people following doctrines that are not normal, because it doesn't happen in any other occasion. So can you tell us, with the Shakahola incident, if you have not watched about the Shakahola incident, this is about a pastor, I think his name is Ezekiel Mackenzie. What's his name?
I don't know. Pastor Mackenzie.
Pastor Mackenzie, who is telling his followers to starve themselves so that they meet Jesus. Right now we have exhumed more than 200 bodies. Yeah, bodies of children and grown-ups who have been told to starve themselves so that they go and meet Jesus. And I'm wondering, is there black magic involved? Is it a cult or is it a religion? Can you maybe explain that?
Okay, what I can say is that people first of all are sick. We are all sick.
Yes.
Psychological sick, physical sick, financial sick. We are sick.
All right.
So when you get sick, you'll go to a doctor. When you have a certain problem, you try look for a solution. Yeah. So these so-called pastors, they study our mind, they study our behavior, they see the challenges facing us in today's world. So they come up with that, let's say, religion or cult on brainwashing us. So you find most of us, we don't read Bible, we don't understand the Bible.
Okay.
So today I wake up, I start my own ministry saying, maybe I'm going to solve certain problems. And maybe in your family you have that problem. Obviously you come to my church. Yeah. So you'll find with your kind of your illness or the sickness you have, you'll come there. So you come there, I'll start now brainwashing you, telling you that if you want to achieve this, you have to do ABCD. If you want to achieve this, you have to do ABCD.
Okay.
So that's how these people work, because they know we are sick totally. Maybe you can add.
Okay.
Okay. Let me start by, maybe it's redefining my own way of this religion, cult, and culture. Religion is a belief.
Yeah.
I say it's a belief because religion can either you believe in a superhuman being or you believe in something that guides you.
Yeah.
You see. And then cult is the extreme part of a religion. It's part of a religion, but it becomes extreme.
Okay. So
and then culture is an art.
Okay. All right.
It's the art.
Okay.
So that's why all these easy tattoo by this correlated very closely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the cult, you've talked of extremes.
Yeah.
Can you talk about those extremes?
Extremes is let me base it on Christianity.
Yeah.
We have certain beliefs, but then there are there are people who go to, I'm part of a church. One thing, a cult comes from one being part of a religion. You
Okay,
see?
all right.
So I'm a Christian. I'm living in those Christ-like, you know,
Yeah.
Christ-like ways, you know. So if I'm part of that religion, and then that what I'm following the ways that that religion says that I should follow. You see, the guidelines.
Yeah.
You know. But then it gets to a part when you know the kwa guidelines hakujambiwa that you should do this to a certain percentage.
Yeah.
But as humans, there is what you call overdoing. So you can't tell me as a normal human being to fast for 40 days, surely.
All right.
You can't tell me to fast for 40 days. If those are the extremes. Yes, I can fast for a day, a few hours, but then I can't fast for 40 days, like to emulate the Christ-like ways. That's another thing. That's on another level.
I think people are just obsessed with being like Jesus. I don't know. See, now, you've talked about being told to fast for 40 days and you can't. Do you think that this can be connected to lack of education or black magic? Well, how can somebody be convinced to actually even starve their own children for 40 days? And then some of them are even struggling their own children, and they're even killing themselves there. So I'm wondering, is it like, can you connect religion, cult, and black magic? Or can you explain something to do with black magic? Is it like a cult, or is it a religion, or is it culture? Is it black magic a culture? Or how can somebody get to that point of being convinced to die? You know, we fear death. For me, I fear death. I don't understand. Is it for lack of education, brainwashing, or what's going on?
Black magic unasema uganga, si ndio?
Yeah.
Aya basi. I think, okay, if you choose that the black magic is the way that guides you, that sets your guidelines that I should do this and this, that's a religion. My shoe can be I can be called a religious man because I believe in my shoes. That's the thing. And
Believe in, yeah?
Shoes. Yeah. I'm very religious, you see. And religion isn't just about Christianity, Islam. It goes way beyond that. It goes that's why I say staki kusema is a superhuman being. Because if my shoes, I believe that nikivaa hizi viatu leo hakuna kitu siwezi fanya. That means my shoes are kind of supernatural, you see. So I believe in my shoes. That's a religion.
Right.
If I believe in myself too much, that's a religion. So naweza sema, if you choose that unataka kwenda kwa these black magicians and you follow their guidelines, and I can't go to church, I can't go to all those, that's a person who I go to, and that's a person I believe, that's your religion.
Okay. So is there a bad religion, good religion? Because if you go, there are various types of religions. There's Christianity, there's Islam, there's Hindu. So does it mean that if I'm a Christian and I don't believe in Islam, or if I'm an Islam and I don't believe in Hinduism, that something bad necessarily has to come to me? Like for me, let me give my example. I'm a Christian, and according to Christianity, we believe that if we do this and this and this, follow the Bible, follow the 10 commandments, and do this and this, we are going to go to paradise. We are going to go to heaven, and we are going to live good. The Islam believe a different way, the Hindus believe a different way. So does it mean that if I don't follow their ways, or if they don't follow my way, that by the end of the day something bad will happen to them? Or another thing I would like to ask, is there a bad religion, good religion? Like for example, devil worshipping. Those people who are in devil worshipping might believe that their religion is good as compared to Christianity. Okay,
Okay, so now it depends with you. What you believe. What you believe is right, to you it's right. What you believe is wrong, to you it's wrong. So a Muslim may believe maybe Jesus Christ never existed, or Jesus Christ is for the Christians. A Christian may believe maybe Muhammad is for the Islams. Now here it comes, even the Christians, we're divided. We have the Catholic, we have the Protestant. So we are crashing shoulders. A Catholic telling a Protestant, unapiga kelele ukiomba. A Protestant telling a Catholic, una worship idols. But for a Catholic, he believes that's the right way. For a Protestant, he or she believes that's the right way. For a Muslim, he or she believes that's the right way. You come to our African culture, our great grandparents or our ancestors used to believe in certain, maybe facing Mount Kenya or a raised place. So that was their way of life. They used to believe, they go do their whatever's there, they communicate to God, things happen. So it's how we believe. There's strong drive from your inside.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
speaking of African culture, you wanted to add something on that? Good.
So on to that, is there bad religion or good religion?
Yeah.
That I guess, okay, wacha nikuulize kwa swali lingine.
Yeah.
What do you consider good and bad?
Well, good religion is something that good is something that help you do good things. Like you help people, you live a good life. You don't have to hurt other people. I mean, you don't have to enter into other people's feelings or do bad things. But bad, it can involve like death, killing, like the Shakahola, and the fact that it's been associated with Christianity is actually making me as a Christian look bad. So that one I can say probably it's bad religion. Okay, it's still Christianity.
It's bad religion because it doesn't fit to your guidelines.
But killing people, do you think that's good?
It's not good.
If there's like there was another one I was watching up. I don't know if it's a video. I think there's a pastor. I don't know if it's in Ghana. I don't even know why it's only Africa that is only affected by these things. You find a pastor giving his followers jik, jik, the detergent, as a way of cleansing them. And somebody is opening their mouth wide to take the jik, and then they just die. And you wonder what kind of brainwashing this is, and why does it only happen in Africa? It's rare to hear. I don't know if they don't show the other side of the world, but it is only Africa that is always in the limelight. Like, a pastor who had ugali there and had meat, and he was, and then you saw that video? Oh my God. Yeah, so I'm talking about this pastor who had ugali, and then another person is holding a bowl of meat. Then the pastor takes the ugali, puts it in the stew, eats it, and now the follower is lining up that the way of sacrament is now licking his fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these things are just ridiculous. Is it because we don't have education? I mean, that is what I can say that is bad religion. I think that's sort of like connected to some other supernatural power. For me, that's what I believe.
So as Boma said something very important when he started. He said something about choice.
Yeah, choice.
Okay, looking at all these incidences, as you said, that's the basic definition of good and bad. And if you can tell me to go and kill a person and feel anything, then I'm sick, as Boma said it.
All right. So probably these Shakahola people could be having like some mental issues. Do you think even education is also something else that...
Siwezi sema education, because in those stories walikuwa unapata doctors, like say a whole doctor, a whole professor of medicine.
Was in that thing?
Yeah. So like, I believe, wacha nikwambie kitu, if mimi leo nianzishe kanisa, najua shida ya watu wa Nyeri ni gani, kukosa pesa leo. Mwambeka kanisa yangu na waombea na mtapata pesa. Madhani sitapata wafuasi.
Is it that bad?
It's that bad. Like, you see, I believe kwa hii dunia, everything is about negotiations. If you can give me what I don't have, ama unionyeshe like unaweza pata chenye sina hapa, and I'm desperate enough that I want it. Because, I mean, ulikuwa unasikia stories za it's a broken marriage, zenye alisema alipelekea bwanake huko sijua kaombewa, and it worked. Like, if that I continue spreading that information, how many people do you think will join that doctrine? Many, because they saw it's one. And labda, even it was something very easy, but he's playing with people's psychology.
Yeah.
He's coming to us with the issues that we are facing. And the worst part ni juu, where ukizaliwa ulembo, when ukifika mwisho, where do you go to?
When I die?
No, ukifika like vitu zako like zikifika mwisho kabisa, like there's no more that you can do at your level.
I was like desperate stage.
Like our parents mostly teach us that God is like the final option. You see?
Yeah, in Africa, but see, that's a whole different. The thing is, for me, I've gone to school. I'm not saying that my parents do not go to school, but the more we are, the generations coming, we are getting more exposed, and we are knowing that some of these religious people are just toying around with our minds. Like you said that somebody can come and say, oh my God, I went and to this pastor and my husband got back with my husband. But probably that's what she has been told to say. And you find that some of these people even do rehearsals. The previous night they are in churches, they are rehearsing. This person is being told, you're going to sit somewhere in a crowd, okay? That spot is where you're going to sit. And then when I say this, you just come jumping around and screaming. So everybody in the church will just believe that, So I don't know people will ever believe that that really happens, because the problem with especially Africans, we believe, especially our mothers, we believe a lot in pastors.
Yeah.
I'm not saying pastors are bad. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying pastors are bad.
Pastor alisema ukifanya hivi.
Because Pastor alisema. Pastor said this. When the pastor visits an African homestead, even the kind of meal that our fathers were being prepared for, you find things that have been prepared there. My dad or our dads have never eaten. Kama ni utensils, they are new utensils there because it's a pastor. But how true are these pastors? How honest are they with their followers?
So, okay, Mimi.
Okay, I think what I can say, first thing, okay, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
When was the last time you read the Bible?
I read the Bible every day. Okay, I have this app. Okay, I have a Bible in my house, but I have an app that always reminds me verse of the day. So I always click on it, and it has a prayer that helps me pray every day. I have a Bible at home. Sometimes I open it, but on my phone I do read the Bible.
Okay, then good for you. But we find most of us don't read the Bible.
Yeah.
That's very true. And the Bible says watu wanapotea kwa kukosa maarifa.
Yeah.
Everything is in the Bible. Kila kitu sasa hata nikutaka kuwadanganya, it's there in the Bible. Nikitaka kuambia ukweli, it's there in the Bible. What we normally do, we do take some quotes. Kama sasa utasikia memory verse, kuna memory verse,
Yeah.
Unapata there's a Bible, underline some quotes, shorten. So this is the verse, unaichukua leo, unaenda just go preach.
But you don't know the story that happened before.
But you're supposed to combine verse A, verse B, verse C, verse D to get the whole story. But sasa nitakuja nione watu wa Nyeri hawana pesa. Nitaenda tu Bible verses about money.
Yeah.
Toa utabarikiwa. I come there. Toa utabarikiwa. Believe. Okay, utatoa, you'll find out maybe of 100 people, like 10 watabarikiwa. Why? The motivation in you. Umetoa ukabelieve mtabarikiwa. So there is that drive, your inner drive. Inakumotivate, maybe you go work hard. So utapata like 10 days, 1 week, and umepata kazi. Ama ingine you applied a job somewhere, miraculous umepata kazi. But some it's because nilienda kwa kanisa ya Boma ndo nimepata hii kazi.
It could be a coincidence, eh?
Yeah. But there's that motivation, the drive from you.
Yeah.
After umetoa, na that motivation nakwambia push hard. So utapush, and then utakuwa umefanikiwa. Like utasema maybe ni yule pastor. But basically ni wewe, like yule pastor alisoma the psychology of these people. They are lacking a certain things. Yeah. Na plus that Bible verse yenye alichukua hiyo moja akakot. So unasema that's the guy. Yeah. So I think Christians, I'm a Muslim, we should read these holy books. Read to understand, not just reading, read to understand.
Exactly.
Na ujue hii verse na hii verse zina combine aje, zinaleta which meaning.
That is true. That is a good point, because even in Islam, whichever religion you are in, we appreciate all religions, but is like the largest group. But even if you're Islam, you're with your Quran there, you connect the dots. You don't just get the verse that you want to read and just, preach to the people, but also help people understand what connected this to that verse. So do you think that...
And there's something ulisema about Islam, as in, if I'm Islamic, if my friend doesn't worship the God I worship, that you are not like, that's now, that you ndo tunaitanga radicalization. You see?
Yeah.
That's what we call radicalization. We live by choice. That's what I tell people. If I choose that Hiki Leo will be my God, let me be. You see? As long as I'm abiding by the normal rules that as human follows, that you should not kill, yes, killing is not okay. You see? But some people believe that killing is okay. That's an extreme. You see?
Oh, really? Is that really normal? Like, is it like lack of conscience, or
it's not normal. Something about religion. Religion is the biggest. Religion and politics are the greatest brainwashers.
Unfortunately.
If today, okay, nice one. You talked about our mothers. You know, they usually believe. Okay, so you sikia story, and then you are like, even if the pastor said that,
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So,
but it's hard to convince them.
Yeah, it's hard to convince them. So that's that's brainwashing. She has already been brainwashed. Because if you can tell someone to kill their own child to see heaven, does that even make sense?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. That's okay. People say about religion is a good thing. It prevents. It's like it maintains a standard. But then, if it gets to an extreme, we live kwa hii maisha through balance. You see,
yes.
If anything gets to an extreme, then that's another thing. So if religion gets to an extreme that we're doing killing, tunaamini cause Yesu aliuawa, pia wewe unafaa uwe sijui nani, ama cause Yesu alifast for 40 days, unafaa. I mean, Bible inasemanga these are the son of God.
Yeah.
You see, so even nikakuniambia, that's why I even don't myself. I don't believe in these pastors that say they do miracles. Because after the nini itself, there is a verse I read somewhere that said that aliambianga mse, don't try doing what I'm doing. I'm the son of God. Sijui nilisomanga wapi, but there was that verse.
There was a place where Jesus said that.
Yeah.
Don't try to do don't emulate what I'm doing because I'm the son of God and you're not.
Yeah, and you're not.
But they were saying that there's gifts of the Holy Spirit where the performing miracles, I think, is one of them, if I'm not wrong.
There was that part, and the thing about the Bible is a very contradictory book.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Bible, to read the Bible, you don't need to like abide by one verse. That's why Boma alikuwa sema read the whole book.
Yes, it's true.
Because I believe kawe you are religious, and there was another story ilikuwa ina trend, and there was this man alikuwa sema ilikuwa funny clip. Alikuwa sema naendanga church, naomba, nasoma Bible yangu, natoka before watu wakuje kuchanganya Mungu. So like I took that into consideration, and I was like, what is this man saying? And the thing is, even yeye ukimkotia verse fulani ya Bible atakupea another contradictory verse. Have you ever seen those people?
Yeah, they're like, the book says this. No. When you go to the book of John,
the same
there's
thing.
always a contradiction.
You can't go quoting things as parts. You see, if I say this today, because tulikuwa tunapigia story leo, kesho nikikuja niseme kitu ingine, ni juu tunapiga story ingine. You see, those things, that's what people don't consider, that the Bible is of events. Exodus is about the migration. There are events in the Bible.
Yeah, in events, yes.
So you should look at that verse in consideration about that whole event that was going on.
Yeah.
You see, because I believe if you look at verses, utapotea.
Yeah, unless if you look at verses in, for me, when it comes to verses, I read, Proverbs is independent. Like every verse, almost all of them are independent because they are wise sayings. But if it's a story like the Deuteronomy, I can't just go and fish out a verse there. But I know it's a whole story talking about Moses taking the Israelites, but I just fish out one verse and then I start preaching to people because I don't know what the story was all about. Okay, let's go back to culture and religion. Do you think, now before I even ask you the questions, you know that before the white man came, we had our culture. We had ways in which we used to worship God. Like for example, the Kikuyu, because I am Kikuyu, we know that we used to face Mount Kirinyaga, yeah? And we used to pray around, shrines, a Mogumo tree. And now the white man comes in and tells us that now you need to get rid of all this. They came and convinced us that this guy, there's even a song that was sung in Kikuyu. It means that I was so worn out when I was at Wainga's place. But I came to realize that Wainga, I think, was a medicine man or somebody. But now he has been associated with the devil. They came and told us that you should not do this, you should not do that. Now believe in Jesus Christ. This is the Bible. Somebody was telling us that when the white man came to Africa, he gave us the Bible and he took our land. Okay, because if you look at Africa in general, churches, these are where people are being brainwashed and all that, and the worst part is that it is Christian. So did religion cause more harm than good?
Okay, personally, I think the white men came in Africa and they found our ancestors with no knowledge. I think our forefathers lacked a lot of knowledge. So the white settler came, the missionaries came, they just brainwashed them. They came with some ni kama sahi ukiona mtoto mdogo uone akona gold. A kid atajua gold iko na thamani. You can offer a kid a sweet na mwambie nipatie hiyo gold. Mtoto atachukua nini? Si atachukua sweet na kupatia gold. So the missionaries came with that motive. Waliona tu watu wacha tuwanganye na kagunia mchele. Maybe in Africa hakuwa na rice, but akaanza ile akaona this thing is good. Sangi kufanyia kitu mzuri utaona this is the guy. So after offering us the services, maybe like the rice, the sugar, the whatever, aliona hii kitu ni tamu, then huyu mtu anaweza kuwa ni mzuri. But behind the white settler's mind, he knew Africa, there is something, there's a treasure there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's, that now is changing the whole thing. Is now Christianity a bad thing? Because if I was worshiping while facing Mount Kirinyaga, and I had Mwene Nyaga, that was my God.
Yeah.
Okay? How did it change to be Jesus Christ that now, because the white man has come and told us this and this and this, now it's Jesus Christ, now I have to leave everything that I have believed as an African and follow what the white man is saying. So what you're saying is that probably Christianity was introduced to brainwash the Africans. Probably what we had was a good thing. Do you believe that?
So okay, personally, I can't say whether religion is bad or good, or African culture is bad or good. It's how you believe. If you believe it's bad, it's according to. If you believe it's good, it's good. To me, I think the African way was the best.
Was the best for you?
To me, that is. Because our forefathers used to go to the Mount Kirinyaga or whatever, the raised place, and they used to talk to God. Wanaongea na Mungu.
One on one?
Yeah. Hata kama yuko, they used to do whatever the traditions there.
Yeah.
Kama ni rain, after 2 wameabautana.
What made it look bad? I mean,
it's because they believe sasa wanaongea na Mungu hapo Mungu zao, and it happens. Unaona? Sasa mzungu akakuja with this, the Bible, the Jesus Christ. So I think to them it was their culture. Unaona? It was their way of worshiping. So they brought it here. And they came with the motive of winning something in Africa, and they got it.
All right. So when you're watching live there, so tell us, was the African way of worshiping better than the white man's way of worshiping? Did they do more harm than good? And what do you think about it? And let's hear your opinion. What do you think about now there's Christianity and there was in the past culture?
Okay, I believe. Okay, Christianity, I can't say Christianity. When it gets extreme, it's a bad thing. Because I don't know the consequences, you see. But then Christianity is a good thing. It maintains us at a balance.
Yeah.
The same way as the Constitution. The Bible is similar to the Constitution. It helps us maintain a balance.
Okay.
And then, even if our forefathers were going to that, the Bible is an evidence. You see. So, nikikuja kwako nikuonyeshe hapo hakuna Mungu where you are facing, and then I come with written evidence that this is my way of life and this is the evidence and this one definitely will turn. But then the thing is, they didn't turn to a bad thing, because Christianity itself and religion is meant to be a culture. That's why the topic iko hivyo, I believe. Because religion is a culture. Because if you look at all these religions, their cultures. Let me use a very good example of Islam.
Islam, yeah.
You see, Islam is a culture. Everyone knows Islam is a culture. It's an Arabic culture, you see. So the thing is, Christianity is a culture, because culture is the way of life. So
yes.
Christianity, what's the definition of Christianity? Christ-like. So
Christ-like, you live like Christ-like ways.
You're living in the way of life like Jesus Christ. So that's supposed to be a culture. You see. But then what happens if we start subdividing these cultures and we start creating so many parts of it? Because even wacha tuangalie at the most basic culture, to the Kikuyu culture. Even if there are very many good things about the Kikuyu culture, hadi kuna vitu naangalianga, you're like, that's even if it's part of the culture, you see. So even if Christianity has a lot of good in it, it still has some questions, you see. And I believe if you choose to do something, you don't choose to follow it blindly.
Yes.
You take, tunambiango hadi egesi iko kwa Bible, you take the good and leave the bad. So you take what is good and leave what you consider bad according to you. And that's the point when unafaa kuwa umesoma Bible, because utakuwa unajua manze, I don't agree with this verse, I can't do this, but then there's another verse that tells me okay, you can do this. And
okay, so generally what you're saying is that okay, religion will always be there, but it's up to an individual to choose what is good and what is right. I mean, if in a religion and you find that what they're doing here, I don't find it good, don't do it, because by the end of the day, I think there's something you call faith. Yeah, you believe in yourself, and sometimes you just have to believe in whatever that you're doing, that it is good. If, for example, you find that you're in a religion that is telling you to kill people, and you know your conscience is telling you, don't do it, just do the right thing. So, now, why is it that is only in Africa where we have a lot of these incidences coming? Is it like we are not like well educated, or is it that we're just too vulnerable to being brainwashed? Because I don't know if the world shows us its other side. I don't know if the America or Australia are affected by such things, but why is it that is an education a key thing to understanding religion? Okay, are they connected?
To me, I think it's lack of knowledge. For real, lack of knowledge. As I said, we don't read the Bible. Sometimes we don't do more research. Once someone says something, you say, yeah, that's good. You don't do research. We are just there. Mzungu akikuja, we believe in the wazungu.
Oh yeah,
they are perfect.
I'm telling you now. When a white man goes to somewhere maybe in Kenya, not here, I'm so happy that we are getting enlightened. A white man will stand there, and everybody, some people will just walk there and stare at him. They came and they told us that black is evil and white is good. Even like somebody was asking me for the wedding dresses, why can't you just wear a black wedding dress or a blue wedding dress? Because they came and told us that white is pure, and they call themselves white men. But what about our black color? We find young girls bleaching their skins because they want to be lighter. But I wish that people just embrace that black is beautiful. We don't know how much we have as Africans. The world would be nothing without Africa, and that's what Africans need to understand, that even these white men will not be where they are without Africa. Okay, the only thing that we do not have basically maybe is education. So you're saying something.
That's true. That's what we find. They do say hakuna msichana uringa kama mwenye anatembea na mzungu. And that's fact.
And then they come and take our most beautiful women. When you go to their states, I'm not saying that women are not beautiful, but ukienda kwa huwezi pata msichana mrembo kama wenye wanakuja. They take the most beautiful women and they marry them because we believe that they have money. But a dollar and a shilling, you can't compare.
And believe me, Africa is the best. Africa is good. That's why those people, they're still here to date. Ingekuwa Africa ni mbaya for real, wangechukua chenye walichukua na wakaenda, but they're still here. They're still in Africa. In Kenya wako wengi kila mahali. So I think what they did, they just found us, we don't have that knowledge. So wakaona they took it as an advantage. So wakakuja tu wakatubrainwash. So tukaanza tu kubelieve in that way. So cause unapata in the old ways, grandparents, and they used to live a good life. Unapata sahi maybe mimi nimepotea, okay, I'm from Taita Taveta. I come here Nyeri, nimepotea njia, nitapatiwa mahali nilale. But now sasa angalia in today's world, those wanajiita watu wa Mungu, nimeokoka. Niende tu nimechelewa usiku, I knock at your door. Utasema no, huyu ni mwizi, huyu ni jambazi. And you are a full Christian. But in our ways, ilikuwa tu huyu amepotea. Uko wako ni gani? They trace, unafika. You want to build a house, ilikuwa mama wanaleta nyasi, sijui vijana maji nini, and within a day you have a homestead. But now disangalia. Nataka kujenga, it's your effort. Kama una effort, it's up to you. So I think our culture, to me, our culture was the best.
It was the best,
It was the best.
Okay, and also the aspect of money now came in.
That's something. I believe culture stands in, let me use Islamic, because most of us Christians don't really understand Islam. And many people, ukiuliza mse atasema Islam is torture, Islam is, naulizanga just simple things. Who told you that the Kikuyu culture isn't torture? Because kuna vitu zinafanyikanga huku and you're like, maze, this is torture. For women, because wacha tuangalie, in the most basic, ni culture gani sijui a woman should serve a man while kneeling down?
That's in Uganda.
You see, not in Uganda, in Kenya.
In Kenya?
In Kenya, hii Kenya too.
A culture?
There's a culture. And wacha nikwambie, everything has
iko Kenya bado.
like everything has its good and bad side.
Yeah.
Because Islam, what Islam does, Islam is very strict on the culture basis of it. You see, because those kids wanaanza kufunzwa Arabic when they are young, and when ukifika around 6 years you umemaliza kusoma Arabic. You see, ukifika 6-7 years unaanza kufunzwa the Quran until you are Quran wamalizangi kusoma, but wanna make sure you have like the complete knowledge ya Quran.
Yes.
So tell me, mimi I'm an Islam, tuseme Christians, if we could embrace that, niambie ka if kungekuwa na all these many churches, because wezi niambia kuna mosque sijui ya this church kuna mosque, because they've all studied the Quran and they see there is no difference.
So the Quran basically was not uttered, but the Bible.
Are there, kwani Bibles, yes, Qurans kuna tofauti, kuna English, kuna nini, kuna different versions, you see, but the message is the same.
Yes.
The same with the Bible. Why are there very many different kind of churches?
The Bible is the same, but different interpretations.
Yeah, so that means we should leave your mentality ya kusema that the pastor is the one to interpret the Bible to us.
Yes, let's read it first understand it before someone else gives the information to us.
And that's the reason why turudi Shakahola, kina Ezekiel and Mackenzie, they are winning.
Yeah, because
you'll take me in court and I'll ask you, did I force these people to do that? I didn't.
Yes, exactly. You just go and tell them they have the Bible at home, they should read and understand. Like even for this Pastor Kanyari, he used chemistry. Do you remember? I don't know if you guys have
watched.
Potassium permanganate. This is something we have been learning in chemistry. Like when it's put in water, it turns red. But this person is like, I am broke, but I know my people who are not listening to chemistry and they don't know. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lie to them that if you dip your fingers, your toes here, and then I put some needles there, you're going to give me 310 shillings. That's not how the guy got rich. Because if at all we are not ready to learn, or we just ignore the fact that education and educating ourselves is important, so that we don't allow this people to always get away with this.
That's why it's called studying the Bible.
Yes.
You see, so you need to learn it, because I believe ka tungesomanga hii Bible like si wote, kungekwanga na kayo system ya Islam where you are taught the Bible, even tuseme okay, CRE inakwanga more of kunini the Bible, inakwanga interpret.
And then it only covers like in the Bible there's Luke's gospel. There's something you can write Kenyan education. I write something that I read in maybe the book of Mark. I get it wrong, but it is in the Bible, but because I'm supposed to study the Luke's gospel, I'm wondering.
So if we studied this book, the Bible, as Islam does it, I believe hizi vitu zote za cult zingekuwa, and all these churches that are emerging day by day, because tunge grow up tukijua this is the same.
Yes.
And I don't need anyone interpreting this for me. And mtapigana sana na a Muslim ukijaribu kumuinterpretia the Quran, even if you read in English, atakwambia I've read this book.
Yeah, because it takes time.
Yeah. So if we everyone takes the time to read that book and we understand, we mwenyewe keep that this is what I agree with in this book, this is what I disagree with. Even if I disagree with it, I'll know there's someone else who agrees with it. You see?
Yes.
And if we're going to worship, we're worshiping God, and we are living in Christ-like ways, and it will be a whole culture. It would be the church, not Catholic, not ACK, not the mosque. The mosque is a title for that building where we go to worship. And the church, why should we give church names like kuna Catholic, kuna Redeemed Gospel, kuna
like a church?
Ingekuwa the church.
Yes.
And who will be having is someone just to lead in maybe worships, because we believe we should sing. It's a way of worshiping. Maybe a coordinator and something, but we believe it's the church.
Yes.
How easy would that be? Very easy.
It would. You see, I think that's why people will take advantage of Christianity, because it's like, I'm not saying that I'm not against Christianity. I am a Christian, but sometimes I feel that it's the most confused religion, because you cannot tell me that there's ACK, there's PCA, there's Catholic, and we all call ourselves Christian. I think that's why people will come and take advantage of it.
We're reading the same book.
And we are reading the same book, but when I go to this church, I'm told different. There's Jehovah's Witness, they also associate with the Bible. So people will tend to take advantage of it, and they will think that we are actually very, very confused as Christians. But just even if you belong to Catholic, even if you belong to full gospel, just do what is right. Go and study the Bible, understand before someone else comes and give you the information, so that you will differentiate. You will know, is this person lying to me? Is he telling me the truth? Telling me the truth? Should I follow what they're saying? Now, speaking of, we've talked about Islam and culture and all that. So let's talk about women and culture. Women and religion. So culturally and religiously, we have women are being undermined. Even when you look at culture like Kikuyus, we find that women had no rights. Even in today's world, like in Africa, we live in a patriarchal world. What I mean with saying a patriarchal world means that women have no rights. It's the male dominant. And I'm not trying to say that we should surpass the man, because God said that there's no will ever surpass the man. Why is it that in some of the religions, even in Christianity in the past, women were oppressed? When you look at Islam, there are those things that women are not supposed to do. The women in Hindu, why is it that religion still suppress women?
Okay, so
specific?
I think we just found it being that way. So we do say sometimes some behaviors or some ways are learned. So we learned that, for example, you learned how to use this iPad, sindio? So we learned from that aspect kwamba a woman anafaa kuwe shingo, mwanamume akuwe kichwa. So that's something we learned from maybe the Genesis. It was just there in Christianity, in the culture, anything. It was just, so we found it just there.
But they say that when it comes to God, everyone is equal, right? Everyone is equal when it comes to God, but why should, like for example, when I look at Muslim, I know that the women and the men pray differently. Yeah. And for example, when it comes to burial, the woman is not supposed to go to the grave. Yeah, if for example, God forbid, a loved one dies, as a woman, I'm not supposed to go see this person to the grave, because the men are supposed to be there. When during the menstrual period and stuff, because we are considered unclean, of which it was created by God. It's biological. We are not supposed to go to church. We are not supposed to stand in front of people and preach. But the good thing is that nowadays we see women are given a chance to preach, and all these things that were being believed, we find that a woman can go to church anytime. But when it comes to other places, you find that you're told when a woman is on her period, don't come to church, don't go in front of the church to preach, don't do this and don't. Why is it that we are really supposed to make us all equal, right? Why is it that a woman is always the one that is
so
why?
I believe that's why maybe the New Testament came, because now in the Old Testament it's when maybe there was that gap between a woman and a man. But now when the gospel of Jesus Christ came, I think it concluded everything. We are all equal.
Let's not just look at Christianity. Let us look at all the cultures.
All the cultures. Plus now it came now the women empowerment thing. You'll find now maybe most of the ladies nowadays, you're very much empowered. Even you're empowered more than some of the
their world.
Really?
Yeah, men are world. Hiyo nayo ni ukweli. So if you tell me, you teach me and tell me that I need to empower these, well, utajipata tuko si wote, but the dynamics are, ni mimi nimeshika mkono sistangu navuta. What happened? The society ilishika the girl child on both hands, wakaachilia the boy child, wakamwinua. I'm talking about dynamics. So imagine if the society could hold the boy child on this hand and the boy child to hold the girl child. Tungekuwa tunaongea
about...
about...
will depend on your support. Like...
we can... It's not like hakuna kitu tunakuanga sure bet, because I mean, nani alijuanga hii girl child empowerment will lead to another form of empowerment yenye tutakuja kuita kusema boy child ameachiliwa. We never knew. It was a good thing.
Do you see, it's the women who came up with this?
Yeah, and it was a very nice thing. And the thing is, nataka kusema this because hata mimi I love empowering the boy child, you see. And nasemanga, you can't rely on a man to teach.
Okay.
So even if tunaambia our fellow men to teach the boys, we can't rely on the man. The role of raising a man is usually inakuanga so wide. I mean,
it entails a lot, yeah.
I wouldn't say that I've been raised by my mom or dad. It entails a whole cycle. And like a girl, when you're nasemanga, when you stay with your mom, you learn basically everything. You see, but the man needs to learn from the mom some ways. I need to learn from the society. I need to learn from my dad. I need to learn from my culture. I need to learn from my religion. I need to learn a lot.
Okay.
And I believe if the society itself as a whole held this boy's hand, and then this boy, ambiwe, you shouldn't let this one other down. Shika yo mkono. And then tupande, the dynamics would be very awesome.
Okay. All right, that's, I think, a topic for another day. We have really elaborated. I see you're very passionate about the boy child. Yeah, it's still okay. But I think let's just understand that there's no way a woman will ever surpass a man. Me as a woman that I know will never surpass a man. And it's something that we need So, well, I think more education should be given to women then.
Boma.
Probably.
Why are women more vulnerable?
The question is, why are women more vulnerable when it comes to religious matters? Please comment there below, give your answers there.
I think the question should be open.
Yes?
But to me, I think, for a man, we are masculine, and for ladies are feminine.
Feminine.
You know? So the femininity in you, I think it makes you ukuwe na kale ka huruma mengi sana. That's why you'll find a pastor akikuja hapa anze kuomba, ladies wote hapa mtalia na mtaanguka. But you'll find a man, mimi mpaka nione facts. But you believe tu kwa kusikia. That's why nikwambia tu I love you, nini, you'll feel the emotions utaenda down.
So it's just venye tu tulicreatiwa.
Yeah, so from the genesis of the things, ilikuwa hivyo. That's why Eve talked with the snake na wakaelewana.
will save you.
Yeah.
So if you're a bit curious, it would save you a lot of things. So if you keep asking, naona unapatanga those people who ask a lot of questions, manze utawapenda. Because these people
Yeah.
atafanya uone vitu in dynamics you don't wanna see na hata kuamini easily, atakushika.
Yeah.
You see? So
is religion supposed to change a person? Like, for example, if I am I wasn't like a Christian before, and there's a way I was living. I mean, I was going to the club, I was wearing in a certain way, and I was talking in a certain way. So when, for example, I become a Christian, am I supposed to change how I live? Does religion change a person? Like, for example, you might find somebody who was probably putting on like fairly good dress, like short dresses, all of a sudden becomes a Christian and starts wearing long dresses, tying themselves up, covering themselves. Is it supposed to change the way a person is living? Religion.
Okay, now it depends. If maybe that thing to you it's bad and you feel like maybe you have to change it, I think it's okay.
Because you belong to a certain religion.
Yeah.
So it changes your whole individuality, everything.
Yeah. For example, now you find maybe you are a Catholic because you are raised up in a Catholic family. I'm a Protestant because I was raised in a Protestant family. A Muslim because of a Muslim family. So the teachings, maybe in the Islamic, in the Catholic, in the Protestant, are different. So utaambiwa this is the way, and we have to follow that. That's the way. That's why now conflict inakuja. Because I believe this is right, you believe it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like ile image ulichorwa 6 na it's to me naona ni 6, wewe unaona
ni 9.
Ni 9. So it depends how you're equipped. How the knowledge was transmitted to you. Uliambiwa hiki kitu ni mbaya. So you grew up believing this is bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So ukitaka kuchange in another religion utaambiwa maybe kuja tukubatize, to do this you have to behave in a certain way. So utaona yenyewe this is the right, ile ilikuwa mbaya.
Yeah.
So ina depend to.
Okay.
Yeah.
A quick one, just something I wanted to ask, like as me personally. I don't know if there's anybody in the audience who can answer this. If I'm a Christian, am I supposed to listen to secular music? Because there's a time we are being told, for me, I love secular music. There's no music that I cannot listen to. But sometimes somebody will come and tell me, you're Christian and you listen to this music. I'm listening to Beyonce and she's associated with Illuminati and all that. And now I'm Christian and I'm not supposed to listen to good music. Okay, let me not call it good music. To my music that I like. So is it supposed to... Should I listen to secular music? Because secular is a whole different thing from religion. Eh?
But personally, I believe God gave us talents.
Yeah.
That person singing, it's a talent given by God.
Yeah.
And God using that talent for that guy maybe to give a certain message. You'll find maybe you listen to Beyonce music, ulikuwa na stress inaenda. That's your way of healing.
Yeah.
So to you, if it's giving you peace of mind or general peace, to you it's good.
It doesn't take me away from believing in God. Okay.
As far as hiyo nyimbo haitusi Mungu, to me si mbaya.
Okay.
And that talent was given by God.
All right.
Yeah, so mi sionangi shida.
I guess
personally,
my
views.
me, I'm answering the question, should religion change a person?
Yeah.
Nikianza, I said religion, a set of rules that guide, the same as the constitution. So I believe if you have to abide to a certain religion, then you have to abide by the rules in that religion. So if that religion dictates that I wear long clothes, that's what I'm willing to do, because I'm willing to follow that religion. But when it comes to Boma criticizing me because I'm wearing those long clothes, there comes radicalization.
Okay.
Unaona?
So you should do things in religion willingly, like
Willingly.
because you decided to follow that certain religion, so you are willing to follow what they do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's it, guys. I mean, that was a good discussion, and that brings us to the end of our first session. Thank you guys for sticking around, and make sure that you have commented below if you are watching live. And if you haven't made your way to Showtime Cinema Nyeri, please come, we participate. We are now going to the question segment where we'll be asking questions, we'll be answering. So make sure that you have asked your question there, and I'll see you on the next part. Stay tuned. Guys, we are next after that, well, seemingly long break, but we are glad we're back. And before we go to this segment of asking questions, let us look at what we have on our live chat. We have Frank saying, I prefer how the set of the I prefer the set of the African Traditional Society. Remember earlier on, we had asked you, which one do you prefer, the Western one or the African one? So Frank, shout out to you. You've said that you prefer the African Traditional Society, but it's good that you say why. We have Vuvu, man and women are bodies, physical bodies, masculine and feminine are qualities present in both. With balance comes consciousness. And then we have also Boo has said that black is beautiful. Yes, indeed it is. Let us embrace our skin. Let us embrace our kinky hair, because that is what makes us African. Shine with it, because it is definitely beautiful. Thank you so much for taking part on the live show, and we are back on the segment. And before I even continue, guys, if you have any advert, please make sure you reach us at Showtime Cinema, because we are going to put it up on our live shows. We want to promote what you do. Show us your hustle, man. So we want to see what you do, and we want to definitely promote you. So we are back in our question segment. So the audience, please be ready with questions, and also our audience, so that Dabs Africa can handle all those issues that you might be having. So yes, maybe tukuwe na somebody from the audience to ask a question. Tafadhali, feel free, wherever you are. Anything about religion, culture, cult, Bwana Cairo. Oh, okay, you don't have a question. Yes?
Me personally, I think theme or topic may lean too much on religion, but we need to go back to where it all started. Huyu ni mkoloni akakuja na Biblia yake ama missionary, but how now do we tackle? As much as it's something that people don't want to talk about. Me as a bit of researcher too, FGM came in with its own way of trying to brush out. So if I have a document, maybe I dug out na nikaona again where all the whole freedom struggle, I'm a frequent comes to that. Ati kuna section fulani ya penal code, ukashikwa ukikunywa muma sijui kani saa walikuwa wanasema cult. Was the Mau cult? Was it something that had refused all other forms of Christianity? Until where that document came in is where Wachera does it very well. Wachera Gikonyo. What's the baptism? Eva. It has never... You're identifying yourself with a name that probably that had come in. So, is it, my question is now, would it be, or will it ever be, that we get back to our cultural ways? That's enough for now.
Okay, good.
Somebody else?
So we'll ever get back to our cultural ways. Do you miss nowadays, like for example, for me, the people ask me why do I say my name as Wachera Gikonyo, because that's how it's supposed to be. Yep. There's nothing like Wamboi, Wanjiro, it's Waboy, Wajiro. That's how it's supposed to be said, because it is Kikuyu or whichever culture you are in. So yeah, let's have somebody. And before we get somebody else, we have Grace Watere asking, how do you differentiate if you are in a religion or a cult? The first question was, will you ever get back to our traditional ways? And Grace Watere is asking, how do you differentiate if you are in a religion or a cult? That's a good question. So maybe you can handle the two before you have other people handling it.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to answer the Mr. Cairo's question. Yeah, I think maybe it might be difficult going back to our ways. It might be difficult. But what I can say is, try to see the good things in our culture, embrace them, and the good things in religion, just embrace them. Once you embrace the good things in both the culture and the religion, I think we're going to have an excellent life.
Funny thing,
yeah.
They'll tell you now you belong to a cult. Lack of naming names. We have tried. Pengine sana the Kikuyu culture. You try to go back to that. Somewhere somebody will say now you're taking some oath and believing into some oath in, and now you're classified as a cult. Just going
yeah, we have that, like there was the Wakiama. Like, for example, they are like having their burials and stuff. They do it differently. Like, for example, they don't believe in coffins. I don't know if that's true. They don't do coffins, and there's a way they do their own thing when they are burying their own. So that one might be sidelined because people will assume that that's a cult. But looking at it, that was an African belief. The Kikuyu ways, they were like that in the past. So we'll never get back there.
I'd like to say, if at all we are ever going to get back to our culture, trust me, I'll be the first. I'll be the first to go back. But then, not to that extreme culture. Because we are living in a modernized society. If we can go to the culture and still incorporate the modernization, manze, it would be very awesome.
Yeah.
Because, yes, burying, say, in a coffin, it's modernized because we need hygiene. Hygiene is something that currently, kitambo there hawakuwa na many diseases or things. You see, nowadays there are diseases and we know about them.
Yeah.
That's why we put someone in a coffin. So no.
Yeah.
So if we can embrace the modernization and then improve, it would be like an improvement of our culture. Itakuwa ka certain growth. So it would be very awesome. Because I believe culture came with had a lot of good things. And the only way you can trace yourself and the only way you can trace Wachera Gikonyo, as you say it, is through culture.
Yeah.
And those two things zinafaa zikuwa incorporated. And okay, with the modernization, hatuwezi rudi to the extreme part, but trust me, there are people who are still practicing the culture but in a modernized way. Me being one of them.
Yeah.
And I love that a lot.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say I love the bad things about my culture, but then there are a lot of good things. I'm a Kikuyu. There are a lot of good things that come along with being a Kikuyu.
Yeah.
And we should embrace that. You see? And we should stop seeing people wanna embrace their culture as if they are atheist or something.
Yeah.
Because by then nimeulizwa na watu, are you an atheist? And I'm like, no, I'm a Christian.
Yeah, and this is someone who doesn't belong. And I want to any religion, I wanted to ask, where will atheists land? Like, you know, every Christian believe they go to heaven. Muslim believes that we are going to go to a place where, okay, fine, I do whatever they believe. Hindus have their own beliefs. So, but where do atheists stand? Because
you know the key word there is believe. So there's no proven evidence. So if I'm an atheist, I believe I'll die and it's over. I believe. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I believe there's no life after death, period. So that's my belief, that's my religion. So being an atheist is a religion still. And as Cairo also you're supposed to follow that to the letter. Yes, it was a bit extreme. That's why it's stated as a cult, because it got to a point where it became so extreme.
Yeah, like I think some of the things that make it probably seem like a cult is some of the things that they were practicing, like especially FGM, female genital mutilation. That is one thing that I appreciate, that the Christianity or whatever that was introduced by the foreigners really got rid of, that, you know, was good for the woman itself. Because some people will say that FGM is supposed to control a woman's behavior, but if you look at the negative side of it, it actually oppresses the girl child. And I want to advocate for people, I mean, tell people out there, if you're practicing female genital mutilation, it is not good for the girl child. I mean, not good at all for me.
It's not good. That's why nasema we are modernized. This comes with the eradication of FGM comes alongside with education, where tulienda tukastudy and we saw like their side effects. Yes, it does to some kind domesticate the girl child.
Yeah.
You see, and inawazuia wakuwe kutokuwa wild as they say it, but then there are a lot of complication. Kuna fistulas, kuna hizo vitu zote that comes along the FGM, so that's life. I said about diversity and balance a lot, and if the pros outweighs the cons, then go for it, but if the cons outweighs the pros, then leave it.
Then leave it. Good. Okay, so I don't know if you've answered the question for Grace Watere, how you differentiate if you're in a religion or a cult. I mean, how do I even know that Christianity is a cult or a religion? How do I differentiate?
Christianity is a religion.
So how do I differentiate?
Cults come alongside the religion. Cults are part of that religion, and cults are the most extreme part of that religion. Right. So yes, I'm a Christian, but I'm practicing extreme Christian practices, saying that I'm living in Christ-like ways. That's how I know. If you can't tell me I'm a normal human, the same isn't it logics, sindo?
Yeah,
I'm a normal human. What's to me to example nilitumia ni fast for 40 days. Digestion in your body stays for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Tell me for 40 days without eating anything.
Oh my God, the body will eat itself up. You're definitely going to die badly. I mean,
that's
logically. Yeah.
So if you're doing extreme practices, trying to emulate Christ, forgetting that Christ was a superhuman, then that's a cult.
Yeah, I think people should just stop doing some of the things that Jesus was trying to do. Like, don't fast yourself. I mean, Jesus did not tell you, no, Christians, fast yourself for 40 days. There's nowhere he commanded you to do so. I mean, according to my knowledge of the Bible, I don't think there's anywhere Jesus went and told people fast for 40 days. That is something he could do because, as you have said, he was superhuman. Probably you want to say something?
Yeah, then what I can add on is that let's seek relevant support, kindly. You seek relevant support, I think you're going to get solution to each and every problem. But now, if you don't have that knowledge, or if you're just being there, just being brainwashed, you'll get up ending maybe getting lost. So just seek relevant support. You're sick, go to the hospital. You need mental health, counselors are there. Go get that service there. So I think relevant support will help maybe control all this.
Na kuna kuanga na itabia. Wacha niongelele juu hiyo ni udhi sana. There are things that women, tunasema women, because it's a thing that women do a lot. Hii stuff ya kufikiria that a pastor can fix everything. And the community at large thinking that all things are spiritual. Hizo vitu tunafaa tutoe. Let's start thinking like humans. Wacha tuanze kuwa logical. If you tell me that me having schizophrenia is a spiritual stuff at unaweza enda uniombee eti itoke. So schizophrenia ni kuchizi. So uniambie eti ukienda uniombee eti nitapona. Si like kuchizi nimesema kuchizi because that's how I can define it in layman's.
Let's say addiction, like masturbation.
Let's talk about masturbation. And then they're like, wako hapo wanasema like this is something spiritual, sijui mashetani, sijui ni.
Yeah, you're having sex with the devil.
Like, manze, these things, tuanze kufikiria logically as humans.
Yeah.
Because kuna vitu zingine, even these pastors wanasemanga uko like,
yeah, and you wonder because they are human if they do them. And then the worst part about it is that these scandals that we normally find pastors with, a pastor has gone and has slept with all the women in the church, and then by the end of the day they are teaching that to us not to do it, but then themselves they're going to do that. I'm not saying all pastors are bad, but we have to differentiate between the false prophets, like even in the Bible, because I read the Bible, there are those, there's that part where it says that the end of times there will be false and true prophets. So out of knowledge, it's good for you to differentiate between a false prophet and a true prophet. Like for example, Prophet Awo. I remember the time he was coming to Nakuru, and people washed the roads, even using soap. Then I wonder, okay, really? I don't know. Can you say about, what do you think about Pastor Awo, that prophet Awo? I don't know. I'm not trying to say that, mwini wake, please don't come after me. I'm just trying to understand.
Okay, I can't personally talk about Pastor Or, but what I'll say is that Okay, what was I wanted to say? Okay, pastors should empower their followers. Yeah, let's empower them. Like maybe the psychologists, we do empower our clients.
Yeah.
But now we find some of the pastors, they make their clients believe these pastors are gods.
Yeah.
So instead of you believing in God, you believe in that pastor.
You're worshipping. That is idol worshipping, actually.
So that's very bad. So I think the pastors listening, empower the congregation, empower them. They know there is that God, and you are there to show them that way.
With the right knowledge, not force. Information. Give them the right information, because you cannot come and even I actually blame the followers. You be ready to learn, know what is right and what is wrong. Don't somebody just come and tell me, you know what, sell all your land and the world is coming to an end. As who? You are human like me. Even if God has given you the power, but I don't think God gives bad power to people. I don't think God gives power for people to people so that they can manipulate others. That is not godly. Whatever that is happening in Shakahola is definitely not godly, because you know that our God is good. When he gives you power to rule people, he gives you good power so that you're able to help your people, not to manipulate them. So for me, Shakahola is a bad, cult. Yeah, and those people who are still there, please run as fast as possible, because for me, wacha niseme tu, for real, you are being brainwashed. It is not a good thing that is happening to you.
I wouldn't tell them to run. I would tell them to think.
To think, and
that's because if you are running and you're not thinking, you'll end up going to the same place.
Yeah, to the same.
So think and get yourself out.
Exactly.
Because hizi vitu, kuna vitu ni ngumu kutoa. If matters that nini the mind, body and soul, hizo vitu it's hard like kutoa mse. It's wewe mwenyewe ujitoe, and it all starts with thinking. Ujiulize, is this right?
Yeah.
Are these consequences worth it?
Yeah.
So like tufikirie kama binadamu.
Yeah, and let us also look at the behaviors of our pastors. Shout out to Pastor Nganga and the rest. But the other question is, before we get to the audience, we have Fred Tomik saying, shout out to the whole team. Thank you so much. Shout out to you too, Fred. My question is which is the best religion now that cult scam is everywhere now? Which is the best religion? For me, I feel that wherever you feel your heart belongs and it's, satisfied there, go for it. Content. It's all about your own content.
The best religion is yourself. Yeah, for real, yourself.
Yeah.
And what you think is right. Just do good, do the right thing. I think that's all. Yeah.
Okay. So it all narrows down to you. Which one do you want to follow? Our audience, tafadhali, participate. Ask a question. Who else has a question?
What's the difference between atheist and pagan?
Yeah, what's the difference between an atheist and a pagan? It is the same thing.
A pagan doesn't go to church. An atheist doesn't believe in superhuman.
Oh, now I know. Now I know. Most people here are not atheists, they are pagans. Okay.
So, and another to add on, Boma, answering that question, I'd like to say, the thing we keep saying it's believe. What you believe. So I believe hata mimi nimesema I believe, so I'm religious to myself.
You're just a pagan.
I'm not a pagan. So if you believe something is day by day, knowing that that's leading you to the right direction, that's your religion.
Yeah.
So yes, now mwache kurely to pastors bana. Soma hii kitabu. Okay, sitasema nimesoma Bible, but then nasikianga vibaya sana msia kibrainwashiwa na Bible na umesoma na mimi sijasoma, manze I hit. So brainwash mimi juu sijasoma, but then don't use something that I know against me.
I mean, you're making people out there are making Christianity look bad. It's not a bad religion. Actually, looking at it, it's a good religion. But then now people are just making it look bad out there. So people, it now narrows down to the public. Please read the Bible, get educated about all these things so that we are not brainwashed, especially as Africans. And I think even poverty could be one of the leading things to, people being brainwashed.
And something I would like us to look at, the root cause of all this. Why do people Because wacha tuangalie, it's a triad. You see, I have a problem, I run to church, the pastor sees an opportunity, uses it, and gets what he wants to get, which is money.
Yeah.
You see, it's a triad. So what is the root cause of all these people running to church and getting like brainwashed? You see, ended up in all these cults, because wengi, they thought they were going to church. And then kusikia huko pastor wako anaitwa a cult leader, you'll be like, I've been going to a cult. Because kuna madhe fulani nilipata mahali alikuwa asikiza Pastor Ezekiel, anasema usina msikizanga kila siku kwa TV.
Pastor Ezekiel, that same guy.
Pastor Ezekiel holds very big congregations and he's very vocal.
When you listen to his teachings, are they good?
Yeah,
I think the only pastor I listen to mostly is Pastor Harrison, because he's more of a teacher. For me, I find him more of a teacher. He's very realistic. Yeah, Pastor Harrison, shout out to you from here. We watch you a lot. You are true. You're true.
So the thing is, if you, how can you convince that this woman who keeps watching this pastor, umwambie those are not the right teachings? And the worst part is, these people are usually the most religious. When you people who end up in cults are usually the most religious. So mimi something mzee tusikue into extremes, wacha tukue in a balance. Adika tunasemanga we abudu Mungu, si abudu Mungu sana. There was a pastor mwenye alisemanga a point in church and nilifurahia sana.
Yeah.
Alisemanga awase wana nini kutoka, wana fast kutoka sijui Monday, ako kanisa kutoka Monday to Sunday, hawataki huko, waliwafukuza.
Yeah.
So
how
like,
can you be in church from Monday to Sunday? Where are you going to eat?
That's logical. Yes.
How are we going to grow the economy? Okay, I'm not saying that going to church is bad. Please don't get me wrong. But you cannot tell me that you even God helps people who help themselves. I mean, I cannot just sit in the house and say, God, I need food. I need some pizza here. Like just, flow from heaven. And, I have to go out there and work.
Go and toil.
Exactly. Let us work and balance.
Last time we talked about addiction. Even that's a form of addiction. There's a religion addiction.
There's religion addiction.
You're being addicted. Mtu tu kwa hapo ni Mungu. Unaenda church from 6 to 6 in the evening.
And something else people don't understand is that God is everywhere. I mean, you can pray in the house, you can pray at your road, ukitembea, you are just praying, because people believe that God only resides in church, but He's everywhere. Wherever we walk, He always walking with His grace. I mean, why do you think He holds the sun? He's like the sun doesn't fall on us.
He's omnipresent.
He's omnipresent. Good.
And another point I would like to say is, okay, I'll ask you in form of a question. Your mom,
Yeah.
Whose role is it to spiritually teach our kids? Whose role is it?
Yeah, he's asking me as a mom, he's asking me whose role is it to teach the kids. Now, for me, I take my kids to church because, I feel that they should follow that culture, okay, of going to church. They don't grow up and then they say, Mommy did not take me to church and this and this happened to me. But when they reach a certain age, and then they decide, okay, the way of church is not good for me, I'll follow this, I have no problem. But as long as they're under my care and they are children and, I'm supposed to guide them. But when they get to a certain age and they feel, no, Mommy, I want to become a Muslim. Mommy, I've studied enough, I am already a grown-up and I want to become a Hindu. I want to follow it's fine with me because they are grown enough to differentiate. Yeah.
The thing is, unapata kuna hii situation yenye parents are pushing the kids so much to Sunday school, and what are you teaching me as a kid? You're teaching me that I can't read this book on my own. I need someone to interpret it for me. So what will I grow up knowing? I'll grow up knowing that this is a book that I'll only read on Sundays. I'll go listen to what my pastor tells me. And that goes back to parenting. Because when you go to court today and umenini your pastor cause umesu your pastor cause alifunza mtoto wako a certain thing, you'll have failed as a parent. And
that's true.
The spiritual role is of the parents. So nasemanga, as much as you're taking this kid to Sunday school, muonyeshe, read this Bible on your own.
That's true. I do follow up on what my son learns in school. I'll be like, just talking to him like, what did teacher tell you today in church? Because you never know what this, you cannot go to Sunday school and sit there with your son or your daughter. But it is good that when after Sunday school, try to to see what they learned. And it is very hard to convince a child that what teacher told me is wrong and what you're telling me is wrong. Because for me, when I'm doing assignment with my child, they will tell me, teacher so and so told me this, and I'm like, no, do this. I'm not saying that they are wrong, but why can't you do it my way? No, teacher said this. So sometimes it is always good that even if it's outside church, as parents, we should also teach. You should also show them that we know the religion. So you teach them all the time, not only in church, but try also engage them in your beliefs when you're outside church.
And kuna kitu unaweza sikia imesemwa in church and you have your kid there. Me personally, when I'm seated there with my young brother, nisikia pastor amesema kitu, tukitoka I'll tell them, hivyo si vizuri, unafaa ufikirie. Namuuliza like questions, you see. And then, what do you show this kid? Usiamini yule mse sana. It's a human like me and I need to think.
Yeah, you need to think for yourself. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's what I say. Like, if I find, I wouldn't blame parents who believe that it's the nini role of the church's role to raise a spiritual child.
It's your role as a parent.
But then we should rethink the whole situation. Lakini, you know the thing about parenting, you can't talk about it because inanga manyo.
Yeah, inaga, exactly. Like for me, without even talking about my children, like for example, if someone is praying for me in church, and then they start using tongues on me, no, I don't close my eyes on that. I'm like, hold up, what are you saying? But if you're praying for yourself, because Jesus told us, or in the Bible it said that speak in tongue, but let there be an interpreter. Okay, whatever you say, the tongues that you say, let there be somebody interpreting what you're saying, because you don't know how genuine is this person. When they are doing all that language that you're not understanding, what are they putting, what are they saying to you, okay? What spirits are they casting on you? But when somebody is praying for themselves and they use the tongues, that's fine. But don't place your hand on my head and then you start doing about whatever that language, I don't understand it. So if you have to do it, let somebody interpret and tell me, madam, this person was saying this and this on you. That is how it's supposed to be.
And I think it should not be more than, I think, 3 languages.
Three languages?
Yeah, I think
how do you even know these languages?
English,
you are not taken to any church to understand these languages.
Yeah, Kikuyu maybe. But if I now, kuna certain lugha naongea uko like.
Yeah, and some of these people even go practice some language you will not. There's no language like that. How sure are you what they're saying is true? So I'm not saying that.
Questions I like to pose is if Jesus did Jesus speak in tongues?
No.
But after you went, aliacha Roho Mtakatifu.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit, and that's a gift of speaking in tongues, but there should be an interpreter.
Sure. Yeah, so if whatever you're speaking can never be interpreted, is it really something?
For me, no, it doesn't work for me. You interpret for yourself if you're praying for yourself, but not for me. Yeah. So anyway, moving on, we have the circle chat with the was. Okay. They say the conversations about religion and cultural practices have no absolute truth. You safely observe and maneuver. Good. So they have the cultural no absolute truth. You safely observe and maneuver. So before you go to the culture, the religion, please make sure that you dig into it, learn it, and then now you maneuver into it. That's a good point. Thank you so much. So any more questions? Keep them coming. Anyone with a question? Yes, kindly pass the microphone. Thank you so much. Yeah, pass it to the beautiful lady over there, and let the questions and let the comments keep coming. Remember Yeah, so there are so many pastors who have come up nowadays. Everywhere there are pastors, but how do we know if it's true? Is it false? I think it all narrows down to the knowledge that you have. If you have knowledge of the Bible and the religion, you will know huyu mtu anaendanganya.
I guess kwa next conversation sijui tuongeze pastor hapa. But then, okay, logically speaking, I'm answering it from a logical point of view. Is if this person, what do prophets do? They guide.
Yeah.
They are like giving guidance most of the times, you know. And if this person is giving you, you know, according to you, I have a limit of what I know, what is good and bad. That's why I started to ask you what is good and bad.
Yeah.
You know? So if I know this is good and this is bad, and this person is leading me more to the good, I think the idea of could lead to the bad, manzi. If you're leading a crowd, I don't think you should lead anyone to the bad. So if you're leading me to the good and it has results, good results and good consequences, and it all pays out in the end, I would say that's a good prophet. Because the thing I saw about ukisoma kwa Bible, the few prophets I've read about, it's most of them, it's either they prayed, something was revealed to them, they revealed to the people, and then there was a great consequence out of it. But then kulikuwa na prophet of doom, sio? Kuna mwenye alikuwa anaonyesha the bad things that are going to happen, but the bad things were as a result of the bad things that the society was doing.
Yeah.
So it was a result of their own doing. So own is the keyword. It narrows down to you.
Yeah.
What you consider good, what you consider bad. Yeah, and you're conscious.
Okay.
Then before going to maybe those churches or those prophets, take your time to start them. Umelelewa miaka yote, maybe your parents used to take you to a certain church. Then today unijui nimekuja unasikia there's a guy called Boma with kanisa yake hapa Nyeri anaponya wagonjwa. Take your time, start this Boma, ametoka wapi? Hizi powers ametoa wapi? Don't just rush. Iko rush unafanya we just get lost. So take your time to start fast. Na mimi nasemanga mimi sasa siwezi enda kanisa yenye iko below my age. For sure. Me was raised as a Catholic. I believe you ndo the best. Lakini nashangaa leo someone from nowhere anakuja doing miracles. No. Then kitu kingine we go there for miracles. No. To send up for miracles. Na miracles I saw a certain clip. They do, it's a stage miracle. Wanasemaga a miracle it should come as a shock. Sai kama hapa miracle happen, sote tuwe shocked. But so pastor akuja sema next week nitaenda kufanya inai. That's not a miracle. That's something ameplan ndo anaenda kufanya. A miracle, hata Yesu akwambia watu sasa next week Saturday naenda kuchange water into wine. He never did that. Hakusema kesho naenda kufungua kipofu macho. No. It should be a shock, hata wewe ushangae. Even Moses alichapa maji akanunua, hata I think hata alishtuka kwanza. Shangaa. Akamwambia sasa huko mbele utatumia fimbo. No. It was just all instant.
Yeah.
So a miracle should happen instantly. Hope tumekujibu poa.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is about these pastors, hizi vitu mnaonanga pastor anaguza mtu anaanguka, they're using drugs, anesthesias.
They're using drugs.
Scopolamine is one of the most used by, it's a gas. And pastors wanakuja wana spray mtu, unaona wewe mtu amenini akaanguka. The things that pastors, crazy things. Kaya nani angefikiria nani alikuwa anaweka potassium permanganate kwa.
Yeah, if you haven't watched about Pastor Kanyari, you will be shocked.
Like they are doing very crazy stuff and they are wanna misuse.
And this guy has a TV. He has a TV station.
Wanna misuse.
He's got rich, and people are still giving him money.
Wanna misuse everything. Like scopolamine is a very expensive, but if I'm going to use it, manzela lazima nikuwe nimejaza a whole stadium.
Yeah, you need to afford it. And these are the ones who are giving you the money to buy it and then use it on them.
And if I'm using it and it's gaining me more followers, manze hata mi staacha. We are all here for the money.
Yeah, actually speaking of money and religion, ever seen we go to a certain service where they only talk about Jesus for 10 minutes, but the rest of the service is M-Pesa. Give what you have, everything. Yeah, Mungu anakuwa na diko wallet yako. Remove, you know.
10% what percent?
Okay, about tithe and offering, okay, it's there in the Bible, but another thing that we need to discuss about maybe because in the interest of time is that also people need to understand, what did God say about tithe? What did God say about offering, okay? So you don't just say that because, oh my God, I should now starve and then take all this money to church because God is going to give me. For me, I believe that if you have a certain percentage of money, you give what God has given you, but don't starve yourself. Tunasema landlord ako kwa mlango na mwambia pana landlord sina nini nakupatia naenda kupeleka kanisa. I mean,
nilipeleka. Me something I know about what God said about offering and tithe, give what you have. And not all everything. As in there is a statement hapo, I guess nili-understand ilikuwa like usipeane ubaki ukiteseka. Usipeane ubaki. You give whatever you give, even if we are told usipeane chenye mabakisho, you should give as you just give ubaki chenye unaona it can sustain you. Manzi unajua nyumba inafungwa kesho na leo napeleka pesa kanisa na expected pesa itakuja kesho ikuwa double.
Okay, people will say the faith is going to bring the money back, but logically speaking, if in the next hour the landlord is coming to close my house,
let the faith open the doors.
Yeah, he's coming to close my house. I'm supposed to pay 10 G's, and this is like same amount of money I'm supposed to pay for tithe. So I give all of it, and then my house closes down, and I'm supposed to. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's a question of faith and belief, but it is good that also pastors out there let people understand the real truth behind offering and tithe. Let's not tell people remove your tithe, mubaki hivo, God is going to provide. I think that's the wrong information. It all narrows down to being educated. Please be educated about the Bible, about your religion. If you find something is absurd, wachana nayo. If it doesn't suit you, if it doesn't make you satisfied, if it oppresses you, religion is not supposed to make you stupid. It is not supposed to make you stupid. Even I remember I was watching Pastor Harrison saying that you find a woman, she was very beautiful before, then she becomes she gets saved because it's being saved in Christianity. She starts dressing like bad clothes. The hair is unkept. She just changes to become something else. And then he was like, who told you that religious people or Christians are not supposed to dress nicely, smell good, and drive and live in good houses? It doesn't mean that you should be oppressed as a Christian. I don't know why people believe that Christianity is associated with oppression. Ati lazima uteseke ndio uprove.
I believe it's the fact that it introduced you as a way of oppression. No. Christianity was introduced as a way of oppression to us, and it's hard to get that out of people's minds.
Is the white man, when the white man is praying, because he's the one who brought us the religion, is he oppressed? Are Christians, they oppressed? Do they like sleep in, they like go somewhere and then there's this pastor telling them this and this? Do they do exactly? It's only in Africa, I think. Yeah, we should think twice as Africans. Yeah, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done. Ken, my friend, it's good to see you. Always nice to see you, huh? The microphone is all yours.
Thank you for this opportunity once again. What I would like to say is that China right now is a superpower, and I'm telling you, there's no single church there. There's no single, not even a single. They are the world largest producers of the Bible, production of the Bible.
Really?
Yes, and there's no single church there.
Why?
And
is it like
they are the richest?
Dictated?
They are richest. So there was a research was done actually when I was listening to the radio on my favorite local. So they were saying a research that was done in London. I don't know, there are around 3 churches. London, they are rich. Come to Sweden, Australia.
Mr. Cairo, can you confirm that?
Yeah, they're there. They are there. They are there. They are churches, as I'm telling you. Yes.
Just quickly, because
Okay.
Ni ati zile churches mzee over 600 years.
Yes.
Zimetaniwa kwa mahali mnaenda kuona primary.
Okay.
Unakunywa mvinyo yenu.
Okay.
But churches are there.
Okay. So around
are the ones who are not taking religion.
Okay. So I was looking at Sweden. Around there are less than 15 churches, and so but they are rich. Okay. So come to like a place like in Nigeria. 30,000 churches. 30,000. Come to Kenya. We are having around 20
If anyone wants to start a business in Kenya, church.
So what you are saying about the churches and the oppression stuff, it is because that burn your certificates, burn your ID, then you go meet Christ.
Imagine.
You see, so I think
I mean, how stupid can you get?
So hapa juu because tuliambiwa like Kenyans we are around 80% Christians full, so like Kenya kuna watu wameokoka every time, huwezi kosa. You don't go saizi ukisema unataka kushuka mpaka pale chini, kuna kanisa wa Korini uko hapa Sokea Mudavadi, you can see it. Ukienda pale kuna Nyamashaki, ukishuka hapo chini kuna kanisa ingine, ukienda pale FSG ni tango FHOK, kuna kanisa like every kanisa imekuwa kila mahali, mpaka kwa plot yenyu hapo huwezi kosa, hata hapo kama kwa staff huwezi kosa kanisa.
Is like a whole
unasikia tu watu wanakuja, mpaka unaona pastor anakuja na nduthi na the speaker na ile ya kushout huko nje na nini everything. So churches are everywhere, and that is what we are believed to have thought that those people that oppress will see Jesus and they are going to see. But if China is a superpower and those people are extremely the other superpower right now, I'm saying, and there is not even a single church, not even a single, go do your research on your own, there is not even a single church, and those people make money. So I was trying to think, I don't know what to think of.
Okay, are you trying to say should
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Okay, I believe like one that was brought up with the doctrines of the universal church, that is the Catholic Church. It's the universal actually. It's universal. Anywhere you go, you'll find it.
Yeah.
It's a universal. So I was thinking that what the government was saying about streamlining the churches, and I know many will be closed, and I don't know what time it take to close down those churches, because I don't want to say they are churches, because there are so many things that. There are so many things out there that we have now come to light, and they were revealed. There are churches even who do, actually they sing when they are naked. They do. It's here in hapa along Wayakiwe na huko ukienda Rimuru. Kuna kanisa mahali hapo ati wanaimbanga wakiwa uchi na wanafanya vitendo zingine, na huwezi sema ukiwa huko nje.
Google Wayakiwe Church.
Yes. So there are so many things around those. Yes.
Church of the Nudists.
Yes.
It's practiced all over Europe.
Yes, it's there. I saw it on TikTok and stuff.
So
yes.
When you say churches,
yes.
Synagogues,
yes.
or temples.
Temples.
All this is in far lands.
Yes.
And how it gets to Kenya is because you're in your comfort zone. You can see wherever they are. But churches, temples, synagogues, mosques are all over the place.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So my take was that we were told in the Bible that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So when you pray as your own, it will still go to God. So I believe so that is the case. So I think the streamlining and everything should be done, but people should be careful.
Yeah.
Make money. Sometimes pray a little bit, then work hard, and all will come to a success. Because the more you want to stay at the church, the more you want to go for this, it does not make you much more holier than anything. So just pray and work. Pray and work. And that is it. No.
Balance your life.
Yes, balance your life. Because ukishinda kwa kanisa utapata time ya kudhokoma saa ngapi?
Hakuna.
And you need
your
money.
Life is tena nyuma, obviously.
Nyumba itafungwa tu, hata kama unatoka Ria bara ya Shaka yada. Kama nimesema Rad Road umwe na tumbo. You know, becoming something. Unasema I manifest ule bwana ya kodhea kuja kwa maisha. What are you saying?
What?
Guys, kama ni memes imenisumbua or something close to that. But hata tuliambiwa hapo by the pastor alikuwa anasema hata ukienda kwa butcher wewe sema ati in Jesus name I bind this meat to come here. Haiwezi fanyika. You need currency to go by. Yeah. That's my take.
Thank you so much. And I don't know if we still have times that you can mention on Halloween.
Very quick one. There's so many years that we look at how the state is run. Whoever who came in this time round, I'm not going to name names like usual, aliingia na kukasemekana, which I don't know whether it's true, part of government house, aka state house, iko na ka portion fulani katawekwa kando, mapasta watakuwa wanaingia hapo. So is the state now, are we looking at a state in the next so many years that people will now start thinking, if I'm not the church goer, I'm not an atheist, which is a registered, atheist, something of Kenya is a registered entity.
Yeah, for atheists. Yeah, it's there.
I think I should tell pagan thingy. Of, but is it now the state to dictate whether they're going to start taxing churches or registration of churches, or how now do we go? If the state is the most religious or whatever, tufuata it kama manguru ama kondo tufuata kama kondo ama tujue mahali sasa we'll draw the lines.
I think hata hiyo ni wewe mwenyewe angalie which is the right way to go. Hata kama kuna churches, kuna whatever, angalia which is the best for you, which is the right one. Yeah, usiende tu kama just kondoo yenye imepotea. Yeah. Fanya tu research yako uone this is the best for me, it's giving the best services, go for it. Yeah.
Lakini Yesu alikuwa mwenye
Kondoo.
kondoo zilikuwa.
I believe I would like to add on whatever Nani said. I believe, okay, religion inakuwa ka the law to some extent. And I believe it should be regulated. The same way they regulate the law, it should be regulated. I believe our pastors kuna mali wanapatananga in a kind of a parliament or something. They should like document this is what a church should offer mpaka hapo. I believe the streamlining will come with all that. Because ukiangalia kasai, let me go to Rwanda. Rwanda, makanisa zilifungwa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have one of them.
Yeah, I don't know where he's gone, our videographer. Yeah.
Rwanda churches were closed. And that's the best thing I loved. Ukisikia venye the president was reasoning out was like, you can't be coming up with a religion. We are all Christians, yes, katai. And you can't be coming with a religion every here and then, yet it's the same book. Yet it's the same book. It's the same, I don't know. But then,
Quiet. Sorry. There's a lot of noise coming from outside. Let me try and control it. Sorry.
but then let's find. I want like Kenya ikafika to a point where there are regulations to these churches, because venye church zinaanzwa nika even starting an organization isn't that easy. And churches zinaanzwa like nikitaka leo kuanzisha kanisa na wanaendeanga tu certificate. And that's the point. Wanafaa create like set of rules.
Regulations.
I believe the organizations are usually very regulated.
Yeah.
And I guess churches are very independent. And the law should start regulating it. Ikifika hapo, you'll see very many churches closing and religion will be now regulated. Because if your beliefs can't regulate you, then let's use force to regulate you.
Yeah. The same way we are regulated as like Showtime Cinema, they have the KFCB, they have to go to KFCB. There are things we cannot do. Yeah, so also we should have some regulations that come to church. You cannot just come to me and say, I want to open a church, but then the fact that these churches are becoming out of hand, let now the government comes in, regulates. You should be a qualified pastor who has actually even gone to school, and you should even be vetted. What are you going to tell your people? Because the moment we keep on allowing these people to come in and allow them to come into our space, the more our people are going to perish. You know, as a community, as I said before, let us be educated. The last one thing I wanted to ask is the Halloween. When I was growing up, there was no Halloween, but nowadays, tell us, what is Halloween by the way? Because people, it's Halloween, they start dressing black and start wearing this mask, but do we actually know what Halloween is?
In the same breath, what is Christmas?
Yeah, they ask it Halloween and Christmas. Okay, Christmas is there, the birth of Jesus Christ, because at least we know Jesus Christ is associated with Christianity, yeah? But Halloween, what Halloween is, there's no Jesus Christ there, okay? So is it, what is it? Is it witchcraft? Is it a cult? What is it? Somebody tell us what Halloween is. And it's already in Africa, because we look at the white man doing this, but we do it, but you don't know what exactly that is. So let us understand, what is Halloween?
Google is your best friend.
No, Google is not my best friend. I don't want to Google. I want to hear what people know about Halloween, because we're actually celebrating it. What do you understand about Halloween? Before we go to the actually time is running, but I think I will leave that as an open question, because of that we also have a segment for storytelling. I think we're going to give it the shortest time possible. We're going to go on a 2 minutes break, and then we come back with the next segment for storytelling. Thank you so much for sticking around. Leo topic ya leo imekuwa moto sana, and hoping that we shall continue this conversation. Keep the questions coming in the comments. I'll see you in the next segment of storytelling.
Apart in short, kamera yangu ni gani? Okay. So tukienda church, let's us be able to differentiate between blessings na hii nyingine prosperity. Unaona, the Bible does not teach about prosperity. Hakuna, nowhere in the Bible. It teaches us about blessings. What are blessings? You are alive, I'm alive. We are breathing. You are here. You are afforded maybe to take lunch, supper, you have kids. Those are blessings. But now prosperity ndo inakuja, receive, pokea gari. You are a student. Hata driving license hauna, hata you have not gone even for driving classes, uta receive gari ya nani? So prosperity isifanye tupotee. Let's just know blessings gani, prosperity ni gani. Unaambiwa tu simu, washa torch, M-Pesa message itakuja from who? Yeah, sure,
Especially in Kenya.
Yeah, so person unadanganya. So weelewa kama uko alive, that's blessings, and that's what the Bible talks about. Prosperity tuachana nayo ndio inatupoteza. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think maybe we should maybe like yeah, parting shot, maybe you can have yours. Yeah, because naingia storytelling, probably you might not have another chance. So Victor,
parting shots, tutumie akili. That's what I have. Hiyo ndio kitu nimeshinda hapa nikisikia, like let's be logical. Let's be reality. It's called let's don't be reality, friend. So tukue logical tu.
Okay. Cairo is giving me a very weird thing here.
You are
Halloween. And the one that has scared me the most is it saying, it is it is also important to know that the celebration of the dead takes other forms in other parts of the world. So probably it's the celebration of the
Thanksgiving. Made it a national holiday.
So it is nothing African.
It is African.
Oh really?
It is somehow.
Somehow African.
Voodoo and all that is African.
All right, so let's
Thank you.
go to the next segment. We are out of time.
So,
Okay.
storytellers, the father, my line with my way out.
of the show. Today we were going to have a story. As usual, we normally have stories, but today we don't have anybody giving stories. But for the next time, we're hoping that somebody is going to come out and tell the story. And I'm also hoping that wherever you are, whatever you're going through, you have healed. And as soon as you heal, please be ready to come and be open enough to come and tell your story. Write it down. Do whatever you can to heal. I've been your host, Wachera Gikonyo, and don't forget that we are at Showtime Cinema, where we have movie watching, we have shows. Actually, in the next 1 hour, we're going to have a show hosted by Eddie mwenyewe. Mtakuja pia, make sure that if you haven't made your way here to Showtime Cinema, you're going to come and get entertained. Thank you so much. If you have any ads, please make sure that you come see the director here so that you can put it on our show. Thank you so much for watching today's show. I've been your host, Wachera Gikonyo. As I've said, make sure that you have subscribed to this channel and share to as many people as possible. For our next topic, as I'm being told by Dubs Africa, will be postpartum depression. Remember, postpartum depression is that depression that comes after having a child. How are you dealing with it, and how can we help you? So make sure that you catch us live next week, and also don't forget to catch Dubs Africa live on Wednesday. We're going to put up the link so that you also participate in the discussion. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'll see you on the next one. Subscribe, share to as many people as possible. Bye.